Hi everyone, my name's Anne Marie. Welcome to card making tutorial 573. Today we're going to make a gorgeous birthday card using our Anna Griffin supplies. Not only is this pretty, but it is just a gorgeous card. It's quick and easy, there's a little bit of die cutting involved, and everything I use I shall put in a detailed list on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. There's always lots of photos of all the projects and tutorials that are available, both inside and outside of the project. If you have a minute, please have a look around the blog. I'm sure it'll whet your creative whistle, and give me the thumbs up on my video, because that would be great. You can always find me on the links at the end of the video, and it's lovely hearing from you. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's have a look at today's gorgeous tutorial. So for today's project, we're going to be using the Anna Griffin lace border dies. This one in particular, we're going to use the ornate layer and the shadow layer. This set comes with a matching embossing folders, but we're only going to use that two set of dies, shall we say. And it's the one with the roses down the middle that embosses, and with the lace edge. We're also only using limited supplies for this card actually. It's a great card if you've maybe not got many of our Anna Griffin supplies. However, you would be able to substitute items if you maybe have something a little bit different. The card that we're going to be working on is a 7 by 5 inch card, and to give you perspective at home, this is something I've created for the videos, and it's called a cardometer, and the largest size is the A4. We go down to the A5 size, which I know my friends across the pond it's a different number, and then we've got the 7 by 5 inch, which is the size that we're going to be using today. And it just gives you an idea of what the size of the card will be when it's finished. So it's a plain ivory card base. I've already used a handmade by stamp on the back. I've added my name and the number of the project. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the top of the card. And the bone folder is from the Anna Griffin Tool Collection set. So it just helps make it nice and sharp and gives it a professional look when it's stood up on the mantelpiece. Now the first thing we want to do is the inside of the card. So I know you like all the ideas for the inserts, and the whole card design for this kind of stemmed from using scraps. So you would be able to substitute the cardstock that I'm using for whatever you've got. But I think it's just a great one to be able to use some of your scraps up with. Now for the inside of the card, I've created an inner layer which is roughly 1/4 of an inch smaller than the actual cardstock itself, the outside card base. And all I've done is I've tipped the edge with an ink pad, and just a pink ink pad, it could be any ink. And I'm just going to work away from the actual card base before we attach this inside. I've taken 3 strips of cardstock. Now these are from the Anna Griffin metallic layers. I've taken all the shades of blue and I've just cut them into 1/4 of an inch strips and 3/4 of an inch strip, not a quarter, and they're just literally 3 strips of cardstock. Could be any pattern card, it could be any plain card. I've got flat tape on the back, and all I'm going to do is add them to one side of the layer. I'm matching them up edge to edge, and I'm going to go with the darkest first, then the middle colour, and then the palest. I've taken them over the edge because we can trim the excess away. There we go. And it just gives a nice coloured stripe at one side. We'll trim the overhang off the card, and I'll do the bottom as well. There's only a little bit at the bottom, and I've done it outside of fitting it inside the card, shall we say, so that I can get a nice neat edge along the insert panel. Now I can attach it to the inside of our card. I've got flat tape on the back of the panel, and I can pop it in like that. Now already that looks, you know, looks like we've made a real effort so far, and we haven't. We've used 3 strips of cardstock. Next, I've taken another piece of the cardstock from the metallic layers, and I've cut a shape with scissors that matches to one of the stickers from the mini birthday sentiments and stickers collection. Now I know the sticker is 3D, I'm not worried about that, but I am going to attach these into the insert. Now the 3D sticker, the card will fall flat, and I just think, you know, it's only a little bit of extra height. We haven't got a lot of height on the front, or we won't have, but that just gives it an extra something. So I've added the shadow layer that I cut with scissors just to the rough shape of the actual sentiment, and I've added it inside, and then we're using some of our painted garden decoupage, and I've just picked one of the floral embellishments that's in there. I haven't decoupaged it, and I've just got it on flat tape on the back, and I'm simply going to position that over the stripes, and then I'm going to press that down, and that is our insert complete, and it'll match perfectly to our outside. You've got a little bit of room for your message for your to and from, and it's really pretty. So now we can do the outside of our card. So I'm going to use my bone folder again just to make sure that sharp crease is still there. And the first thing for the outside of the card is I've cut 2 strips of the pale and metallic blue cardstock, and these roughly measure just under 1.5 inches, and I'm going to add them to either side of our card, and it's got flat tape on the back, and I'm putting one at one side and one at the other side, like so. I'm going to trim the excess away, and there we go. Then I've also taken the mid colour of the blue, and I've cut it to roughly just about the gap that's here. Now the bits that I've cut away is part of what we've used for the inside, so I haven't wasted anything. I've got this section on flat tape, and I'm just going to simply add it through the centre between the 2 panels that we've just added. Press it down and then trim the excess away from the top of the card. There we go. And that has covered the front of our card perfectly. Next, I've die cut 2 of the actual floral rose lace dies, and this is just the ornate layer. I've die cut them in ivory. I've got 1 piece of flat tape through the centre, and I'm going to add 1 to one side of the card, and if you notice I'm taking the edge just roughly to the edge of the coloured cardstock, so I can marry the edge of the die to the edge of the card and press it down, and I'm going to do exactly the same for the opposite side. Marry the edge up and press it down. Again, I'm going to trim the excess away from the top of the card and the other side as well. There we go. Then I can go to the centre of the card. I've die cut the shadow layer from the same die in dark blue, and I've cut another of the ornate layers in the ivory. So again, I've just got flat tape through the centre. Now I've trimmed the actual borders down. I forgot to mention this because they're longer than the card. So I've just trimmed them down slightly, and that way they will fit on. I've got flat tape on the back of this, so we've got no height in the layers yet. And that didn't stick. Press that down. There we go. And I can take the back of my flat tape away and then add this to the front of the card. Now I'm going to add this through the centre over the top of the previous layer, like so. And that should be the right height. So now you can see the continuation of the colour changing in the background, and we've got all the layers on, but they're all flat so far. Next, we're going to take some of the actual decoupage from the Painted Garden card making set, and I've just picked 2 sets of the flowers. I've put them on flat tape. I haven't added 3D foam on the back, but I have layered them up with 3D foam, and I'm just going to pop them on my card roughly where I want them to be. So I think about there, and a little gap between them. And then I'm going to add 2 parcel embellishments from the mini birthday sentiments and sticker kit. I've got them on 3D foam on the back instead of using them as a sticker. And I'm just going to add them just to either side of the flowers, like that, leaving a little gap in the centre. And in the centre I'm going to add a sentiment, again from the mini birthday sentiments and sticker collection. I've got it on 3D foam, and that's going to sit between the flowers and between the parcels. And then I'm going to finish the card off with a little blue bow underneath the sentiment over the flowers, and then because I can rearrange if I want to, because it's my creation, I'm going to bring those 2 parcels in just a little bit. There we go. And that is our card finished. How gorgeous is the inside to match the colours of the outside. Stands up perfectly. Definitely a mantelpiece pleaser and will be a keeper. Ideal for any birthdays that you've got coming up. Now you could change it. You could change it to a wedding, to an anniversary, whatever occasion you want to use it for. I just think it's a beautiful card, and I love the colourway. And the Painted Garden card kit was one of my favourites. It really was. And it just works with so many different things. I do hope you've enjoyed watching. Please give me the thumbs up if you have. Please share with your crafty friends. Don't forget to check the blog for the items that I've used and for so many more photos. And I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.